Welcome to Pioneer Prosperity Movement. Here I am, Maddie, in front of you. Today I'm going to unpack why your wealth creation strategy is broken and how it is keeping you trapped and what's the alternative path. It means what the top three wealthy people are doing to escape out of it and also how they are creating their portfolio income. Let's dive straight into it. And also, I'm not just going to talk just only theoretically, but also I'm going to bring in the evidence. It means the proof, the statistical evidence why your wealth creation strategy is broken, how it is going to keep you trapped. Are you ready for it? Because I'm going to unpack and it might contradict whatever the belief that you had before or you have been told, but that is what the problem here is. And so as long as you're open-minded and coachable, stay tuned, and here it is, because at the end of it, it will give you a different perspective of opening up the pathway towards creating a true wealth, a true legacy, true passive income, true generational wealth in your life. Are you ready for it? So let's start and let's unpack it. This is what the traditional method, as you all know, what the 97% follow, as you have been told by the school, by the society, by the government, by the financial brokers, advisors, bank advisors. Everyone will tell you this. What is nothing but even including your parents. That's why we can't blame them. So you have to study well, get a good job, or have your own small business because you become your own boss, and as well as or otherwise you can have a small self-employed like a brick and mortar. Yes, and then once after you have because you have been told with the belief of time is money and you must work hard for money. So when you say time is money, you have to work hard for money through the job or small business or self-employed. What happens here is, as long as if you say time is money, when the time is limited, the income that you're going to make from that will also be limited. So eventually you end up in making how much ever you work through this, you'll end up in making a 1 year capped, limited, linear income. It can be a one or two or multiple source of linear income. Either you may be in a job or small business or self-employed at the same time because you are working for ridiculous hours. But as long as you are saying time is money and you're working hard for money, eventually you end up in making only a capped linear income. And now the bank will come forward and say, your financial advisor or your broker or anyone will come forward and say, wow, your income is secured now, it is safe now because you're having the serviceability, and they will bring in the fancy word that, oh, you're having the serviceability, your borrowing power is increased, your purchasing power is increased. It is the right time now because you're eligible to buy a house because we bank are going to offer you the 80% to 90% loan. Wow, that's a very good debt. Actually, it's not a bad debt, it's a good debt because your mortgage house after 30 years will become your asset. Then what happens? You fall into that particular trap because the bank don't see what actually they're supposed to see. Rather, they see your capped linear income, but they don't see the main important thing. Why? Because they don't want you to know. And followed by that, they see only the capped linear income. They see your serviceability, purchasing power, and borrowing power. They make you to stay trapped. They will sell their mortgage to you in the name of good debt. And then what do? You buy a house. Once after you buy a house, you may say, what's wrong in it? Wait until I unpack the evidence behind that. Now, after you buy a house, what happens is in a 1 or 2 or 3 years time, the mortgage broker or the real estate broker, the bank advisor will come and say that, wow, your house has gone value now in the 3 years time, and it's gone up in the value. You have the equity. With that equity, you go and buy the investment property. What happens? In the moment you buy the investment property, now the mortgage has gone up back to the same value that you bought, or even more than that, based on how much the price has gone up. You topped up your mortgage. That's it. You topped up your mortgage. Your mortgage hasn't come down. You topped up your mortgage. You went into more debt. You're getting sold for their fancy words of equity because they say that your net worth will increase. It's not wrong. Wait. So now you focus on investment property. This is where the trap comes. Now you're saying time is money. Your income is capped. Now you're going to focus on 1 or 2 or multiple sources of linear income. Why? Because see, as long as you're staying in the trap, it's not only the mortgage money to be paid. It's not only the equity to be paid, even though the rental is coming, but also the insurance and the property maintenance, renovation, utility, and your life expenses. What happens to your disposable income? Think about it. That's what the evidence I'm going to bring in. So eventually you end up in work and pay until you retire. That is what the 97% of the people are staying trapped there. Because the moment you stop working, because you're relying on the time is money, tap the linear income, the moment you stop working, money stops flowing. You are doing this is right, but you are doing this relying on only capped linear income that can be from multiple source, but it is a cap. It's a linear income. There is no cash flow. When you stop working, the money stops flowing. So as I said before, the bank don't see your cash flow. The real estate brokers or the mortgage advisors or the financial advisors, they don't see your cash flow. Rather, they see only this, and they make you to stay trapped here. To make you to stay trapped to work for 65 years until you retire. Because they say, because you will get a passive income after 10 or 20 or 30 years. Okay. But do you ever see in this 10 or 20 or 30 years until you retire, it could be 40 years as well, until you retire, when you're working like that, what you are really compromising or what you're really losing? Have you ever seen that? Your active age, your personal time, your family time, you're compromising so many things in that 10 or 20, 30, 40 years for the passive income that you may get afterwards. And even though you're going to get that much of passive income, is it really worth? That is how 97% of people are staying trapped without time freedom. And even at the end, you will not be having a financial freedom. And even if you get some sort of financial stability, financial freedom without time freedom is worthless. Time freedom without financial freedom is pointless. Moreover, if you say this is net worth without time freedom or self-worth is absolutely worthless. Because if you don't have a time freedom, eventually your self-worth comes down. Keep it in mind. If you don't have a time freedom, your self-worth also comes down. Net worth without self-worth or time freedom is worthless. Let's talk about it. If you say this is going to work out as what they say, what they told you to believe, I'm going to bring in this. As of January 2024, over 1.6 million Australian households were at risk of mortgage stress, marking the highest number ever recorded. It's not stopping here. By August 2024, it became 1.66 million. This figure represents a significant increase of 802,000 households since the Reserve Bank began raising interest rates in May 2022. This and all according to real estate in Australia. Second most important thing, in early 2002, the median house price was 4.9 times the median gross disposable household income in 2002. By early 2024, last year, this had increased to 8.6 times, indicating a substantial decline in affordability. This is according to ABC. Next one is, you know what is disposable income, right? It now takes Australians an average of 11.4 years. What's that? 11.4 years to save only for a 20% home deposit, up from less than 7 years. In 2002, it was only 7 years. No wonder why you are trapped here. This is not at all the gateway. This is a very slow process. This is basically designed to make you to stay trapped, to make you to work until you retire. And this is not the ultimate pathway to any sort towards wealth creation at all. And these and all they are doing because they don't want you to know the other mode of income. They don't want you to know the cash flow, but they want you to know only the name of passive income. And followed by that, they are selling their mortgage. You're getting sold for that. Why? Because you're getting sold for this limiting belief, time is money. So as long as you are here, in any way, even though whether you're a job or small business or self-employed or multiple streams of income, as long as you are saying cap the linear income because of time is money, you are absolutely trapped. It's not how the wealth has been created. It's not how the wealthy people do. I was that too, but something told me this is not supposed to be the strategy. Something else. That is where I opened up myself, learned the strategy, and then shifted from here to here. So I'm not only keeping it for myself, I'm also going to share it with you. Let's open up that. So what the 3% do, which is entirely different from the 97%. In saying that the 97% are holding only 3% of economy, the 3% people are holding worldwide, they're holding 97% of the economy. Why? It's not money is limited. Money is unlimited. The thing is, they completely reverse the formula. It means they don't focus on the job or small business self-employed, because that is not the gateway. Your job or small business or self-employed is not at all going to create any wealth creation strategy at all. You're not going to achieve time freedom. You're not going to achieve financial freedom. Forget about it if you are here. Whereas the moment you're open-minded to be uncoachable, that is where you come out of it and you first focus on your cash flow. When you focus on the cash flow, then you have to open up yourself to see the possible methods to leverage. Here you're getting linear income. There's other side. You must focus on the leveraging. When you say leveraging, it means time is not money. The moment you accept time is not money, because you are going to protect your time. Here, they sell the time for the money. Here, they protect the time, knowing the time is so limited and it's a valuable asset. Time is not money, and you focus on the making the leverage income to enhance your cash flow. What are all the methods of getting a leverage income? Now you have to seek for the business which can be automated. They are leveraging the high profit, they're leveraging the system which is automated, and they're leveraging the OPT, other people's time, where they are leveraging the other people's money. These are the 4 methods of leveraging through automation. The moment we are leveraging these, time is not money. You'll end up in making an untapped leverage income. Irrespective of your active presence in your business, the business will run 24/7. If it is online global, it can be scalable and duplicatable without your presence. By leveraging the high profit system with automation, OPT and OPM strategy, that is where you end up in making an uncapped leverage income, which is cash flow. The moment you figured out this, you will end up in getting a time freedom. That is what the 3% will focus on. The 3% will focus on the cash flow, which is a leverage income, in making uncapped leverage income to achieve the time freedom first. That is the key. And if you're in a job or small business, you can early retire. And this will take, not probably, possibly. I'm not saying the probability. I'm saying the possibility within 5 years. Not until 65. Within 5 years. The moment you achieve the time freedom, then afterwards, you can diversify that without falling into the debt strategy. If you want, you can. That is where you will get into the good debt, not here. This is not the gateway to get the good debt, even though they say that. They manipulate it. Whereas here, you can see, wow, now I can get the good debt if you want, or you can just buy outright. So you can diversify into property or stocks or shares. This should come last. First, what you must make is a cash flow which is not tied up to the time, to focus on achieving the time freedom first. When you have a time, you can diversify that either in property or stocks or shares to duplicate and scale it furthermore. This is what the gateway to achieve the time freedom, possibly within 5 years' time, with the right automated business model, not through crypto, not through whatever other things are. Business is a very important thing here, which is online, scalable through the automation, duplicatable through the OPN OPT strategy. And this is what the gateway towards achieving financial freedom. Now you got this. This is the 2 different extremes. The basic important thing is the mindset. Here the people protect money, work for money by selling their time. On the other side here, people protect time and make the money work. If people work for money, here you must change your mindset to make the money work. That's the shift. The moment you are open-minded to understand this, the game is open for you. This is the ultimate gateway. Not at all here it is. So it is now for you to see where you are at. Definitely you will be here. Now you have to find a right automated business model where we can leverage the high profit system with automation, OPT and OPM strategy. Achieve this cash flow, focus on the time freedom. Then it becomes a game changer for you. Knowing without doing is nothing but not knowing. It's time now to take an action. If you're really keen to know what business model which really helped me to escape from this trap to here, where I'm here to show you the 3-step process of same exact business model which helped me to shift from here to here. Also, not only to share, but means lifetime mentorship freely for you as well. I am doing this because it is not only me making money, it's not only me living with freedom with my family, with my complete presence, but also I want each and every single parent who are truly decide to also live this life and impact others furthermore as well. That is a way to live with prosperity, because we are born with a birthright of freedom, abundance, affluence, prosperity, and happiness. Let's make it happen, because we are here to live our life to the fullest. We succeed together.